Dave, what's going on?
Hi, Mitch. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great.
All right. I'll do a little placeholder dance here for a minute because I know people arrive late sometimes, and I just had a few little things that I had written down. One was a funding source that looked like it might be worth looking at, and they seem to be working in a lot of states, I believe, including Texas. But I haven't dealt with them yet, but I'm looking into them. It's called, they're at straightlinefunding.com, STRAIGHTLINE funding.com. And they are offering loans on investment properties up to fourplexes. And their rates they're talking about are 3.5% to 5.5%, which makes them viable because they're willing to talk to it. They're working with investors is what they do. But they're going to be talking to our local RIA here next week, and I looked into them a little bit online, and it looked like something worth keeping in mind. So that was one thing I wanted to throw out.
Are they looking they're looking to fund people who are landlords or buying holes?
Yes.
Yeah, because
I have not had a conversation with them about what we do, wrapping. That would be ideal to find somebody willing to let us wrap their loan. But when it comes in handy, it could come in handy. Sometimes you end up with a rental when you start out with something else, and maybe you can convert that money and use it for other investments. So just wanted to throw that out. Somebody needed it.
One of these days, somebody's going to be able to let people wrap mortgages, and I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't do it. I just don't get it.
I think it's a concept thing. It just doesn't. It just hasn't sunk in, and when it starts, it'll probably spread like wildfire. But sometimes people just don't think.
Maybe I should try to start it, but what? I have too many irons in a fire now, and it's not what I do right now. But I mean, somebody that really is in that business and knows how to raise that kind of money should do it. But I don't know. Then they should hire me as a consultant.
Yes. Absolutely. Be sure to keep us in the loop on that.
Yeah, right.
Two other topics that I was thinking about through the week. I mentioned it before, asking if this is something along the lines of prefabricated houses that you can put on vacant lots. But there seems to be a factory-produced fold-up house called Boxable.com that has a huge industrial type assembly line that they're building in Las Vegas, where they can actually take a little casita, as they're calling it, and bring it on the back of a truck and unfold it.
What's it called?
Boxable.com. The company is Boxable. They're talking about selling these houses ready to go at $50,000, and claim they have a huge order already from the federal government, which is going to be their guinea pig to get the bugs worked out of their factory. They've done prototypes before, but if you go to Boxable.com, there's a lot of little stuff on the YouTube that's fascinating to watch. Even if you're not interested, it's fun. But I'm really wanting to find something in the neighborhood of a factory-produced house that I could put on, vacant lots around. So that was another fun thing I stumbled over. And so the last thing on my list was just kind of as a discussion to throw out. I've had this feeling that living rooms. We're talking now about the layout of houses, because one thing it's just like a fun puzzle to me. I go into a house that was built 80 years ago, 70 years ago, 100 years ago in my area, and the layout is, it's not modern layout at all. In fact, when the house was built, the bathroom was an outhouse back in the backyard somewhere. So it is just kind of common for me to take down walls, put in new this and that, add second bathrooms and little cubby holes and stuff. But one feeling I've gotten is that living rooms, I'm just wondering if living rooms, as I grew up with, the biggest room in the house, I'm wondering if they're kind of becoming obsolete, and maybe more like in the future, maybe a lot of living rooms might be more like a parlor. And when you're looking at a 1,000 square foot house, 1,200 square foot house, 800 square foot house, and trying to configure it so it's kind of a more modern living space, maybe the living room is not a big deal anymore. I can see it as more of half size what some living rooms are, maybe just a place to meet the occasional guest and maybe have a big screen TV, but would rather put the space into larger into another bathroom or larger bedrooms or something. But it has I just have this hunch that this might be a trend, and it's kind of linked in with people having their own movie theater in their hand, the computer in their hand, and the beautiful little LED screens that you can get now that are so clear. So that you
That's interesting. Like just have a bigger master, right?
In your bathroom.
Yeah, like have a bigger master or something. You know what I mean? Or, people are watching movies on the toilet. So it's an interesting concept. For me, it's very foreign. Like you would have to have a living space, but that's because I grew up that way. You know what I mean? I wonder if it would fly. I have instance that it won't, but I'm part of the generation that grew up with. What I know is obsolete. What I really feel like is obsolete is the dining room.
Yes. Yeah. We absolutely. That's. Yeah, it's it's kind of. I'm thinking.
As you look at these concepts in these tiny houses, where they have pop-up kitchen tables or these slide-out, you know what I mean, so that it's you got a place to dine and it's all there, but when you're done, you push it all out of the way, so to speak, or slide it or fold it under or whatever, and now it's just all living space again. Like you.
Yes.
So those tiny houses do a pretty good job of some innovative ideas. I wonder if those ideas couldn't be brought into bigger houses, especially houses on pier and beam and stuff. It's like, you push a whole dining room table that seats, 8 people. It just goes back down to the floor. And you pop it up when you want to eat. You push it back down to the floor when you're done.
I think Walt Disney's cartoon artist came up with that one back in the 50s.
Yeah, but nobody
they had some cartoons where this this is actually possible these days. Yes,
I think so because especially in places where space is sold for a premium. There's places in Oregon and Washington, D.C., especially like New York where people live in tiny spaces, but I don't know. What do I know? I just rather stay in Texas where we just buy an acre and build whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Well, thanks for letting me share that. If anybody has any feeling about how they might see things trending for the future as far as the layout of houses and the use of space, I just think it's a fun topic. Thanks very much.
One of the things I love, though, is the indoor-outdoor space where they have those glass garage doors or just garage doors or those bifold doors where you can bring the outside inside if you want, but you can close it off and air condition it with a mini split, if you need to close it up. I really think that.
Yes.
They're not cheap, though.
No. But you can take a tiny house and just change everything by opening up that wall and opening out with putting those glass doors onto a deck or a patio. Really makes a difference.
All right, my friend, I appreciate you getting us off the ground here.
Thanks, Mitch. Bye-bye.